Raila Amolo Odinga to be president as opposed to Ruto. Are we saying that now we're prepared for Ruto to rule us until 2032? Those are issues we must put on the table. I may believe that Raila Amolo Odinga is still the person who can change and reform this country. But by acceding to Ruto without...
I am in total disagreement with James Agriole. He's my senior, he's my friend, but where he's wrong, I will tell him you are wrong. You cannot tell us that we cannot dialogue, that we cannot talk with Ruto, we cannot talk as Kenyans. What is the alternative? We cannot play politics of populism. We cannot play politics of theory. We have been playing politics of theory since independence. That is why we have got these things wrong.
At the same time, Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has advised President William Ruto to take his time while picking individuals for his cabinet. The governor observed that although public servants cannot be without fault, the president has the opportunity to identify and pick individuals who are able to work for Kenyans.
Na kweli alianza kuwasikiza, amemake zile changes, amemake. Kila ningemwomba, take time. Asikimbilie, take time. Asikize wananchi na achague wale watu wananchi wanataka. Wale watu wanaweza kufanya wananchi kazi. Although human beings are not 100%, sindio? We are all not 100%, lakini tuko na wale wako afadhali, sindio?
Ruto on Friday named 11 cabinet secretaries, majority drawn from the cabinet he had previously sacked, to a new government meant to respond to the grievances of young protesters. Gladys Midecha, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Now, thank you, Midecha, for that particular report. Away from that, police in Mwatate, Taita Taveta County, have intercepted a truck carrying hundreds of ethanol cylinders worth millions of shillings. Now, the police are also looking for the driver of the trailer, who is said to have escaped after he was stopped by the police officers on Mwatate Road towards Taita Taveta.
This is the trailer that was nabbed by the police at Mwatate Road en route to Taveta. According to the police, this truck was seized after the driver refused to stop when he was stopped by law enforcers.
Driver ya hiyo lori akavanish, akapotea kwa sababu ilikuwa usiku. Baadaye gari ikaletwa mpaka kwa police station. Wakati inaangaliwa, ikafunguliwa hiyo container, ikapatikana imebeba ethanol.
The police claimed that investigation showed that the truck had 130 cylinders of ethanol and each cylinder was carrying 250 liters.
Ikafunguliwa hiyo container, ikapatikana imebeba ethanol 130 of 250 liters each. So officers wa DCI wanaendelea na uchunguzi wao na kutafuta driver na mwenye gari.
Mwatate Police Commander says that a detailed investigation is being conducted to determine where the driver of this truck disappeared to, as well as looking for the owner of the load.
Investigation team from DCI are investigating and trying to trace the driver and the owner so that they can be arraigned before court.
The police also say that the truck had a fake registration number that differed from its insurance registration.
Insurance inaonyesha kwamba hii nambari inatakikana ikuwe KBF, sio KBE. KBF 947U, sio 966Y. Ukichambua pia unapata iko na nut moja tu ya kubadilisha. Kutoa ni rahisi. Kutoa ni rahisi.
DCI officials have vowed to investigate the matter while asking the public to provide any information to the police to fasten the investigations. Sheila Tembur, K24 TV.
All right, now that particular story takes us to a second break here on Sunday Review. Don't go too far. I'll be back with more stories in just a few.
25 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again.
Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Dial *423#. Get DSTV Compact for 3,700 Kenya shillings and connect to all the football you want on DSTV.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
All right, and just on some breaking news this particular evening is that U.S. President Joe Biden has decided that he will not be seeking a re-election, and he has stepped out of the race. Of course, just to get a little bit of that particular statement, it says, it has been my greatest honor, or the greatest honor of my life, to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. Of course, this particular decision coming amid calls from the Democratic Party to have him step down because of health issues, of course, and also just a follow-up in terms of who exactly is Biden nominating to be able to vie for the position of president in the coming elections. He has posted that, my fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and do this. Of course, that's just a post that is on his social platforms, that is on X, following his decision to step out of the race. Now, Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital has reported 0 maternal death in the last 4 months.